Master Willem's a philosopher that long ago drew much public interest from his studies. Later, his mansion served as a place of learning where he became known as Provost Willem, and where many scholars went to learn more about blood healing and enlightenment. From there, the lecture building was founded. It's unclear where the lecture building is, but in a nightmare you visit a twisted memory of it, discovering arcane magic in a chest originating from Byrgenwerth, daughter of the cosmos, making it pretty clear that they were learning more about the arcane powers originating from the celestial entities through the choir's experimentation. Without Willem's direct involvement, the School of Mensis branched off of his studies, changing and developing their own beliefs, and uncovering more to the secrets of the Great Ones through twisted and albeit inhumane processes. I must make it pretty clear that the lecture building and the School of Mensis are not one and the same. This is the School of Mensis. Willem's abode and the rest of Byrgenwerth has since been abandoned, later declared as a sacred place, requiring a password that only the scholars now know, which is
Fear the old blood.
It is unclear how many of the scholars still exist, but my guess is not many. Some may have moved on to the Healing Church to be corrupted by old blood and turned into monstrosities, in essence forgetting the adage. Lucky for you, the adage comes to you in a vision of a memory from a skull on an altar. Imposter Yosefka and the very cleric guarding Master Willem are members of the choir, the higher clergy members of the Healing Church. They more than likely know the password, judging from the fact that one of them is in Byrgenwerth. Master Willem had two loyal servants. One served as the gatekeeper, name unknown, while the other became a grave guard of the forest. His name was Doris. They both went mad after encountering Byrgenwerth, the eldritch truth, below Yarnum. They both have long passed away. The gatekeeper mysteriously still works the gate, even in death, and you can find Doris's scattered robes in the forest, possibly killed by the abominations that now inhabit the area. The enemies you see wandering the forest, infected by the strange snake-like plague, were possibly once scholars of Byrgenwerth themselves, judging by their tattered attire. The snake-like plague could have originated from Byrgenwerth because it seems celestial in nature. Perhaps the choir, or even Doris and the gatekeeper, brought something back with them from the labyrinth in their madness, infecting the forest. At a high enough insight, you can hear the mad gatekeeper sputter nonsense.
No. Someone at the door. I gotta get the door. Let's get the door. Who's there? What if they should come in? What's coming? Bit me. She was bleeding. Oh no, he was bleeding. He was blood. What was it? No, like that. No. I gotta get the door. I must get the door. No, knock all day. Knock.
Though this only clarifies one thing, that he was bitten and likely frenzied into madness by Byrgenwerth. People with high enough insight are more susceptible to be driven mad by these celestial entities, as you can tell by how frenzy affects you in the game. So this became a major roadblock for many people seeking a high enough enlightenment to be on par with the Great Ones or even evolve.
Master Willem, I've come to bid you farewell.
Oh, I know. You think now to betray me.
No, but you will never listen. I tell you, I will not forget our adage.
We are born of the blood, made men by the blood, undone by the blood. Our eyes are yet to open. Fear the old blood.
I must take my leave.
Master Willem also had another servant, Lawrence, who took his leave, possibly to continue what Willem started by seeking new rituals, beckoning the moon presence, and finding alternative ways to harness insight, including the use of old blood. Through his persistence, he forgot the adage, and Lawrence himself transformed into a beast, as evidenced by his deformed skull that sits at the altar of the Grand Cathedral. He led to the formation of the Healing Church, and now his skull serves as the heart of the church, like that of the Holy Grail, which supposedly was used to collect the blood of Christ during his crucifixion. There are many parallels to Catholic religion, especially that of drinking figurative blood during communion. Master Willem became obsessed in his studies and gaining enlightenment, lining his brain with eyes, evolving into something akin to the celestial beings they study, akin to what your character did in the true ending of the game. He, just like imposter Yusefka, wishes to gain enough enlightenment to be one with the Great Ones, or at least be touched by them in some way. Unfortunately, Willem hit a dead end and abandoned his students of the lecture building. So that's why I think Lawrence took his leave and he and the scholars furthered their studies and uncovered new rituals and many notes dispersed throughout the lecture halls uncover their true intent.
Master Willem was right. Evolution without courage will be the ruin of our race. Hunt the Great Ones. Hunt the Great Ones. 3/3 chords.
Now, is it possible some scholar was able to obtain 3/3 chords from hunting newborn Great Ones after the nameless moon presence was beckoned by Lawrence and his associates and actually managed to evolve? Has this entire ritual you brought about to evolve happened before? I feel there's enough evidence to say yes, and Rom is a result of that. My proof in this comes from an interview with creator Miyazaki where he refers to Rom as a she, and also Willem being completely oblivious to how this evolution was achieved comes from this message in his home.
The spider hides all manner of rituals, certain to reveal nothing. For true enlightenment needs not be shared.
Willem is saying Rom, the spider, is a result of true enlightenment. Someone with the courage to evolve consumed 3/3 chords after the moon presence was beckoned by Lawrence. I believe this transformation resulted in a stillbirth of her mind, hence why she's called the vacuous spider, and also why she hides all manner of rituals, as in her form she is unable to communicate this. When Lawrence beckoned the moon presence and wombs were blessed with newborns, the choir collected those newborns and locked them in the orphanage, an upper part of the Grand Cathedral, in order to study. Willem understood why Rom was unable to share her secrets, though I'm sure true enlightenment made Willem envious. And at this point in the game, he's at an unspeakable old age and can't do much more than groan unintelligibly, and obviously hasn't left that rocking chair for some time. His envy shows by how he blesses you with insight and gestures for you to go forth and kill this crazy bitch. Whether or not he knows killing Rom will cause the red moon to hang low is unclear, and maybe he has a secret stash of umbilical cords to dine on just in case, just for the occasion. Although that wouldn't be true, as he's unaware of the ritual process involving 3/3 chords. Honestly, I just wanted to show that scene from Silent Hill 4. I thought it was funny. There's more proof that Willem has witnessed this ritual happen before, as he scrawled it down in his notes.
When the red moon hangs low, the line between man and beast is blurred. And when the Great Ones descend, a womb will be blessed with child.
He knows this much, but he doesn't know about the moon presence, aka pale blood, being beckoned in that ritual process. Otherwise, he wouldn't have called it the red moon hanging low. Also, he makes no mention of consuming 3/3 chords, as that was a discovery in the college, possibly by Rom, and he's obviously oblivious to it, judging from his note. His home is built like that of an observatory, looking out at the moon. His chandelier is constructed to look like a mini solar system, showing his studies focused more on the supernatural and astrological events that caused the low red moon, and studying Rom for answers to this ritual process that caused her evolution. His eyes were always on the skies where truth do not lie. Needless to say, he got nowhere in his studies, and many others have long surpassed his knowledge. So to wrap things up, almost everything originated from Provost Willem's teachings in his prime. But as his studies halted, many institutions, religions, and factions deviated slightly from his teachings and branched off, leading to the choir's arcane corruption, the healing church's congregation's misuse of old blood, the endless night and the scourge of the beast. Funny how simple teachings can branch out into full-blown religions, well-renowned teaching institutions, and massive nightmare worlds. Willem may have never accomplished his goals and evolved himself, but his teaching sure did, beyond even his comprehension or intention. This is how I think it went down, though this is just from what I gathered from item descriptions and keen observations. To put it simply, Master Willem's teachings led to Byrgenwerth College within his own home, then expanded to the lecture building located somewhere within Byrgenwerth, which led to Lawrence and the formation of the Healing Church in Yarnum, then led to the twisted studies of the School of Mensis and Yahar Ghul, and the graduates of that became known as the Choir. The Healing Church, School of Mensis, and the Choir led to the Scourge of the Beast Plague through their studies and experimentation, which lastly led to the Hunter's Dream, Hunters, and so on. Let me know if I was way off on this one. Oh, wait. What was I talking about again? Oh god. Is this what they had to put up with having so much insight? Cause who would want this? Who would want this? For more on Bloodborne lore and more in-depth character studies and analysis, subscribe and watch videos you may have missed. That would be appreciated, and thank you everyone so much for your support so far.